and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League. 1 minute, sorry guys. The bronchitis is still there. I do apologise. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League 1, League 2, the Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. But of course, we have a lot of football to talk about. It is a double game week, and I definitely couldn't do it alone. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to do it alone because it'd take me forever. Rebecca, how are you and how's your week been?
I'm very good, thank you. Week's been good. Uni, trains being horrendous as usual, but apart from that, all good. I did have a good Saturday, so if we can talk about that rather than Tuesday, I'll be happy.
Love it. Ours was the other way around. Didn't have the best Saturday, but had a very good Tuesday. Uncle Nick, how are you and how's your week been? I'm so glad to have you back. We missed you.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Week's been pretty hectic. Been looking after the grandson for a couple of days, which is always tough. But we all the 2-year-olds, absolute bundle of energy, and just started doing archery. So to get away from thinking about football.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's all good.
Are you any good?
Consistently inconsistent.
Love that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Sound like Rochdale. I'm joking. Claire, how are you and how's your week been?
Yeah, I am good. Bit stressed. Little one's not very well, and yeah, I've been trying to work whilst looking after her. So yeah, that's just been a barrel of fun. But you know what? It's what it is. Daily weekend.
Woo.
You okay? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. I thought I was doing well, and that cough caught me off guard. I was doing really well. So, yeah, unpredictable, but I'm feeling a lot better, thank you. And how are you, and how's your week been?
Football-wise, unbelievable. Life-wise, not as good. I tried to stupidly jump a barrier at work on Tuesday. I'm not like a race horse, so I couldn't get over, and ended up quite badly bruising my ankle. So apart from that, I'm fine. But I'm good. Yeah, thanks. I would ask how you are, but you've just answered that. So can I just say though, that lipstick is absolutely on point tonight, yeah. Unreal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, to be fair. I'm feeling a bit autumny, even though it's not really an autumn colour, but
autumnal, isn't that the word? Isn't it?
Autumn. Last but not least, Ben, how are you and how's your week been?
Yeah, I'm all right. Football-wise, a bit up and down. We were probably the only game out of the championship down to National South that have had a game called off this week because the traffic through the Dartford crossing. So no Monday game or Tuesday game to talk about, thankfully for you guys. But yeah, other than that, I'm okay. We're getting through it. Nearly the weekend.
Woo! And someone as well who I do actually want to say hello to is obviously our lovely Dietrich, and it was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy
birthday! So are you singing?
I'm gonna sing.
Yes,
I'm gonna do it. I need a countdown now. Who's gonna count me in?
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I can hear. Happy birthday, dear Dietrich. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hey.
I could hear myself back and I thought, oh my gosh, that's really bad. I hope that was okay, though, Dietrich, and hope you had a lovely day. But yeah, should we start some football chat? We've got to do it at some point, haven't we? Oh, Jen's come in. She said she's picked the right moment. I don't know if it was. I'm sorry if I broke anyone's like AirPods or speaker on the phone.
You broke your own, that's why you were echoing.
I know. But yes, we will start with the championship. So Saturday's games. Ant, would you like to start with Sunderland?
We played on Sunday, but yes, I'll.
Sunday.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you got us off guard there. Yeah. To be honest, Sunday was. I thought we looked relatively comfortable without. I'm trying to think what everyone's laughing for. Yeah, I get it now. So we were quite comfortable without really, being, making that many chances, and Hull just had nothing. I really didn't have much at all. And to be honest, I can't even remember who scored for us. Oh, it was Wilson. I know a little bit of controversy because apparently the referee got in the way, which he didn't. You know what I mean? Like he might have just got in a little bit in the way, but they still had loads of chance to put the ball in the battle and to put the ball in the box and something. We've intercepted. Wilson's turned into Usain Bolt in his prime, ran about 70 yards. Keeper's come out. He's dinked it over the keeper, 1-0. Another good away performance, another clean sheet. I'll just talk about that one brief because not much happened. Last night was the one for us, I thought. But yeah, another massive 3 points for us, another good win away from home. And we've also, we broke the international break hoodoo because we normally lose, after the nationals. But there we are. Massive 3 points. It returned us to the top of the championship. So I keep on, asking that question. Hence why it's in the little thing there. So class. Just amazing to see. I'll be very brief.
Oh, have you got an Ant's rant lined up at all? Because I feel like I'm missing your Ant's rants.
I've got an Ant's rant about last night. Yes.
Get in there.
There is an Ant's rant coming up about last night. Yeah.
Yeah. You.
I've got nothing to rant about though, Shab. We're playing well, so there's nothing.
You find something to rant about?
I'll find something. As like I said, there's a little bit of a one last night. I was ranting about something in the women's game on Sunday when we played Durham, and all of Durham's fans, when every time they were singing a song, ended up going "woo" at the end. I was like, well, what the hell are you doing that for? You know what I mean? I thought Ric Flair was coming out of the wrestling. You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell's going on? Apart from that, I'm cop a hoot at the moment. I'm happy.
Simon's asked you a question as well. What does a win feel like?
Yeah, unreal. But obviously we've got Coventry in a few weeks, so it's still a massively hard game. We've just got to take every game as they come. We've got Oxford on Saturday, and that's going to be difficult because they've only lost twice this season, and both of them have been at home. So they're unbeaten away from home. It's going to be a huge game. Everyone's thinking now we've played our 2 hard games. We go up there and show up and win. It's not going to be that easy at all. So you got to take every game on its merit, every opposition on the merit. So yeah, huge.
Got a few people as well. They're very observant. Chris has asked Rebecca, "You're not in your usual spot. It's so weird." And Jen said the same. Do you know what? I didn't even notice. That's how observant I am.
Yeah.
Why, Rebecca? Why? You've got to answer the question, but all our people in our chat want to know why.
Well, my mum and dad are out tonight, and I have a fear of being upstairs on my own in case someone comes in the house downstairs. So I was like, I'll just camp out downstairs tonight.
Oh, that is why, everyone. So stop being so nosy. I'm joking. Don't come for me.
Don't get over that fear unless you do it, though.
Yeah.
True. But it's quite comfy downstairs.
I tell you what, Becca, I'm 38 and still haven't got over that fear. I've got a cricket bat in the corner of this room just in case someone is downstairs. Seriously, I've never gotten over it.
To be fair, though, when I'm going upstairs, after the pod tonight, I'm downstairs in my living room, when I turn the light off, it's one of them where I'm out with my laptop and I'm running up the stairs.
The run you do when it's pitch black downstairs and you're just sprinting up.
Well, mine's a fast walk because I don't run. I run like Phoebe out of Friends. If anyone watches Friends, I run like Phoebe. Just saying. And I bet you can all imagine it too. Jenna's put as well, yeah, I hate being home alone. Tuesday night when Liam didn't get home till 4 a.m, it was awful.
See, I find that like a dream because, you know, starfish, the bed by yourself, like, yeah, happy days.
Yeah, it's like with me, like obviously I've got my little boys there, but they always put something in, and I'm sure it'll be the same when I go up to bed tonight. It's always like a wrestler, or last night I had a bloody Hagrid doll in my bed. A naked Hagrid doll at that one, what they thought was hilarious. So each time, yeah. Not good. I should have probably said it on the podcast out loud.
Yeah,
You know what?
and you're blaming the kids for doing it. Come on, Char. Yeah, we know.
Draco Malfoy, yeah, but not Hagrid. He's not my type. I feel like we have to talk football now just to get me away from that. I'm quite embarrassed. I've gone quite red. But yeah, Rebecca, I will come to you first. Any standouts on the weekend's fixtures?
The Blackburn and Swansea match, purely just because I have seen my brother in the comments and he's given me pointers for this match. I think that's Blackburn undefeated 6 at home now. So it was another huge win for them, clean sheet as well. The ground is becoming a very, very tough one for away teams to go to now. I feel as though they are doing well at home. Their form is quite good. It was a positive performance from Blackburn. Tyrese Dolan with the goal, Todd Cantwell with the assist. They keep him fit. They've got a very creative player, and he is adding in to Blackburn's creativity at the moment. So yeah, it was a good win for Blackburn and a positive performance.
100%. In the chat as well, Kieran has put, don't know why he's so aggressive. Cardiff winning angers him. All right. We've got as well, Simon has put, the curse of Deepdale continues. Uncle Nick, is there any standouts for you on this slide?
Yeah, I would say Bristol City winning at Middlesbrough is a good result. It's only City's third win in the season, and it keeps them sort of in touch for the top 6. And that's a really good away win at Middlesbrough. It puts them only a couple of points behind them. So for City to get a result there, I think that's a really good run out there.
100%. Ben, any for you?
I would have said Bristol City, yeah, to be fair, but I think again we've got to look at the Friday night game, the big sort of game in the playoffs at the moment, Leeds and Sheffield United. That's a big booster for Leeds. We all said at this, well, probably in pre-season, whether playoff final defeat might hit them hard because obviously financially, but obviously they seem to be still in and around there. I mean, I do think maybe it's not the best standard in terms of the Championship as we've seen in previous years. That's not knocking obviously the teams that are at the top at the moment, obviously Sunderland and but obviously we've seen better quality. I think because it was always going to be difficult because we had a three-legged race, didn't we, between 3 teams last year. But again, Leeds keeping intact with that top 3 of them, or top 2, sorry. That's big for them even at this stage of the season. So big morale booster down at Ellen Road.
What a lovely tribute as well that they did for obviously George Baldock as well, the Leeds Sheffield United. I saw that and I thought it was really, really good. Claire, I will come to you next. Any standouts on this slide? What haven't been said?
I think it's a good away win for Portsmouth as well.
Yeah.
So they've been a bit indifferent as well, haven't they? And QP haha have not started too well.
QP haha.
That was Portsmouth's first win of the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good win. Never know, they might start getting a few wins now.
Definitely.
They might.
This I wanted to bring up as well by Sam is put credit to Bristol City off the back of that awfully tragic news of Liam Manning's son last week. Thoughts and prayers are with them all, 100%. It's really awful news, that wasn't it?
Sad news as well about Steve Bruce's grandson, who is Matt Smith's son, who retired from Salford at the end of last season. It's just 4 months old. Like,
was that the game when the ref stopped it and let them do the applause.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was top class from the ref.
Yeah.
I mean, they get a lot of stick, but fair play to him. I thought that was really good.
Really classy. And he joined in as well. Like this is a real like sad thing. Like we've all got to pay our respects to this. But yeah, I'd love to Matt Smith, Steve Bruce, all the family as well. So sad. So sad.
This one as well, Simon, he's put happy for Rob Edwards beating Watford after the way they treated him. We love Rob, don't we? What's that, sorry?
Me?
Yeah, sorry, you broke up on my headset.
I said he's got the last laugh.
It's a big win, actually, to be fair. It's probably maybe the underrated one, actually, of Saturday, actually, because when you look at where Luton were in the league. So, you know, home road, we always said that the Kenilworth Road has to be a fortress for them again, like it was back when they got promoted to the Premier League. So, you know, dispatching teams like Watford, that will, you know, give their players a massive lift. And hopefully Rob Edwards as well. Like I say, we love him so much in the podcast and we want to see him bounce back. And what better way to do it with 3 points and clean sheet and that, you know, in front of your home fans. That's the way to shut them up, isn't it?
And any standouts for you, obviously, apart from ones that mentioned, or do you just agree with them all?
Kind of, I don't want to be like, don't want to rub salt in the commentary wounds, but have you seen that record that they've got at Detail and Preston? It's 22 games they haven't beaten in it. It's madness. Like, you think a bogey team, that is a big bogey side of it, Preston, for Coventry. I mean, like, see what happens. I mean, Robbins is still holding on, or there's some deep problems going on there. Like, but no, I kind of agreed with the Watford one as well. Like Luton beating Watford. So Watford have been playing really, really well, and Luton haven't. But Luton apparently obliterated them. Could have been like 5 or 6. So, but Watford are funny, aren't they? Like they win one game, like very convincing, then go and get hammered off the local rivals. And to be honest, it kind of got Watford back for that. The social media stuff that they put on before the game. I wasn't a big fan of that. I've got to be honest. Like putting like all stuff like
classless that.
Yeah, I must admit I didn't like it. There's kind of shit hours and then there's stuff like that which I wasn't a huge fan of, and it kind of bit them in the arse, didn't it? So yeah.
Obviously, moving on now to this week's Tuesday and Wednesday fixtures, and I will let you talk Sunderland, and then you can have your rant. I'm really intrigued.
Good. I mean, good. I mean, I say good result, cracking result. They put a lot of wrongs right, because obviously Luton were the ones who did us in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and we went down there, and it was like men against boys. We didn't play well at all, and you know, they peppered us with long balls and corners and everything like that, and fully deserved to win. Last night, it looked as if it was going to be a little bit more of the same, because that's what they tried to do from the get-go. We started bare, but they very much grew into the game, and, you know, did do the peppering and everything like that. And what I've got to say about Sunderland yesterday was, I think they started that game as boys, but they didn't half finish the game as men. You know, we had to really, you know, get a barrage of long balls. We were getting kicked. You know, our goalkeepers took a couple of knocks and stuff like that. To get in 0-0, thought was excellent. And then I was watching with my girlfriend, who doesn't particularly like football. I was saying, there's no way Luton can keep this up for 90 minutes, because they were just pressing, and we just needed to be patient. And the chances would come our way, and they did. Obviously, Chris Riggs got the first one. Again, I just can't speak highly enough of Chris Rigg. Like an 18-year-old kid having the composure and the, you know, pretty much the sense to not hit that first time and just take a few touches. Found the perfect, you know, angle, puts it in. 1-0 meant, all right, we'll go on and win this. You know, we've weathered their storm, but they came back to their credit. And I think it was Adabia who scored again. As I've said quite often, if you're going through a goal scoring run where you can't score, come and play Sunderland, because we always break records. You know, it is what it is. And I thought, you know what? I was thinking, I'll still take this. I'll take a point. But then, you know, shout out to Dietrich as well for Romain Mundell. He scored another cracking goal, you know, coming on his right foot, bang right in the corner. And then just can we defend this? Yes, we could. We stood up massively. Absolutely, to a man yesterday, just stood right up, took some hits. We knew we were going to get them. They just bombarded us with long balls and corners and everything, and we stood up really, really well. Chris Mepham at the backs, for me, he's been the sign of the season. I mean, he's just a wonderful defender, reads the game so well. He's just a class above. And, to be honest, we didn't give them a massive opportunity. So fair play to them. Again, top of the league. We've created a gap. Now, we've got like 6 points ahead of Sheffield United. We're 8 points ahead of Norwich in 7th. It's been class. You know what I mean? We're after Saturday, we're a third of the way through the season, and you're looking at the league table there, thinking this is unbelievable. So massive credit to everyone there. Massive credit to Regis for having the nous and the tactical nous to read up on Luton, knew what they were going to do, and we've just implemented that game plan superbly last night.
I love that.
Did I cut you off there, Claire? Sorry.
No, I said enjoy it. That's all.
I'm loving it. I keep on saying compared to last season, it's night and day, and it's not as if they've made massive changes, because they haven't. They've just kept pretty much the same players. We had to sell Jack Clark, but then we've got Romain Mundell, who's come in and done just as good as a job. He's our top scorer this season. We've got the likes of Chris Rigg, just who's unbelievable. Joe Bellingham's playing really well. We've signed very well the likes of Mepham and Wilson Isidore, who have come in. Aaron Connolly, who's a great player. He just needs to find his right club. We'll be there or thereabouts. I'm still just thinking, let's just take one game at a time, which is what I said before. We just got to take one game at a time, see what we can do, keep trying to pick up wins, and hopefully, the teams that are below us slip up. But we're still there. We're still top on merit. We deserve to be top of the league.
It is a great turnaround, because I know obviously we spoke a lot last season about how frustrating it was for you to watch Sunderland.
Yeah.
So I'm just dead chuffed for you, really chuffed for you.
I think the proudest thing definitely came from last night, where, as fans, we can remember that game. And yes, we were depleted. We didn't have any defenders fit or anything like that, but we were bullied off the park. And the fact that last night, a team who were, our average age is 22.76 or something. So these are young lads, and they were getting kicked. Luton player, the way a Luton player, you're not going to stop it. And you go down to somewhere like Kenilworth Road, which is a really, really, it's a hard place to go and get a win. And the fact that we were given back just as much as what we were getting, and we were shithousing them come the end of the game. That for me is the biggest change. That they're actually just they're not getting bullied anymore. They step up for themselves, and they actually have to believe that they should be tough. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. Maltesers are lush, so there you go.
I'm so jealous right now.
Yeah,
I love Maltesers.
Definitely. Love a bit of Maltesers. So the rant is, I don't know if anyone watched the game last night, but at the core commentator last night, it was Chris Wellimore. I am sure he had a bet on Luton to win last night, because literally every single foul he was going, oh, that's a foul, that's a yellow card for Luton. Apparently, Luton got a goal. Luton did get a goal disallowed. For me, it was an excellent decision, because the first player who is offside makes an attempt to head the ball. He does miss it, but he makes an attempt which puts our goalkeeper off. For me, it's offside. Electoral law says he's offside. Wellimore's going mental about it. Oh, it's never offside. He's made the wrong decision. Apparently, both of our goals were fouls. I didn't see any fouls for any of the goals. And then he was screaming on about wanting a penalty in the last kick of the game, which wasn't our lad Trey Hume literally just puts his arm out like that. It's nowhere near a penalty, and he's screaming for a penalty starting the other. Now, I've got to be honest. Every person on Sky, even when you watch Neville's and your Carragher's, when they're commentating on their own teams, are still, they're not biased, are they? You've got to really call it down the middle. Yeah. He did not last night, and I don't know the reason why, because he's never played for Luton. In fact, he played for Watford, so he should be on our side, really, because he was a Watford player. But how on earth he's made a living about, being a commentator like that? Because that was, to be honest, it was quite frankly, pathetic what he was doing last night, and I really I need to think twice about employing him again, because it was shocking, really, really shocking, and it actually threatened for me. It threatened to ruin what was a fantastic result. You're thinking, what what on earth were you watching last night? It was just so blasé. It was hilarious. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yes, we got an answer, Anne. I love it. I've missed Sam.
Oh.
Luke is in agreement as well. He's put,
You know
well
what?
in, Anne,
The
you
bother
tell
was,
them.
if it was somebody like, I don't know, like Kevin Phillips or, you know, someone who I respect as a footballer, you know, who gets on, like Micah Richards or whatever, who get on, who are like, you know, they've been well, they've done that, they've done everything in the game, but they are very impartial. If it was someone like that, you take it, but not from a journeyman striker who's well known for missing an absolute sitter for Scotland. You know what I mean? I'm not taking it for him, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm just not
Mic
having it.
drop.
You know what I mean? He's not pulled up any trees at all as a player, so
Drop your mic.
you know what I mean? What's his right? He did absolutely nothing as a footballer, so there we are.
Oh, do you know what? I think we need like a monthly special where we don't talk football, we just all have a rant. It'd be great free therapy, wouldn't it? As well, Anne, just before we move on, is there any standouts on this slide for you?
There's a hell of a lot of draws.
A lot. I thought I made mistakes, you know, as I was doing them last night. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, is that right?
Hell of a lot of draws, but I'm going to go for, I know, I don't want to rub it in for Kieran, but Cardiff winning 2-0 against Portsmouth. And obviously Cardiff have sat the manager a few weeks ago, and I still think that they've got the caretaker in charge. I can't remember if they've actually made a change or not, so correct us if I'm wrong, but they've kind of made a really, really good, you know, change since he's left, and it looks as if, pardon me, they look as if they're, you know, hitting the ground a little bit, you know, getting a good win over Plymouth, getting a good win over Portsmouth. If you're going to stop up in this league, you've got to beat the teams around you, and they've done that, got 6 points, so fair play to them.
As well, did anyone see about Jack Wilshere? Isn't he coach at Norwich now?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. I think I saw it and didn't dream it.
I think I saw it as well. So unless we were having the same dream.
Yeah, a really random one as well. But how do we think he's going to get on, Wilshere? I think it's proper mad to see as well, because I remember these footballers. It's like your Wayne Rooney, Michael Carrick, obviously Jack Wilshere, Tom Cleverley, and not that long ago they were all playing football. So it's crazy, isn't it?
You'd think that, given some of the fantastic coaches that they've been around, and not just that with Jack Wilshere, he's spent so long injured, you'd think that he has maybe taken the time to learn that side of things, because I don't know, it's an awful lot of time to not really play very much. So yeah, hopefully I do all right.
Yeah.
Very interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who will I come to now? I mean, there's not really any standouts. Do you know what? I'll just leave it free for anyone to really answer, because there's a lot of draws. So, is there any standouts for anyone on here? They're pretty straightforward, aren't they? Really?
Middlesbrough, maybe.
Yeah.
And Sheffield United, like, keeps them up and about with it, and it'll be a bit of a frustrating one for Sheffield United.
I think I would have probably said the Sunderland one with there, because, you know, for Luton to come down the back of a 3-0 win, you know, against the top side in Watford, like, you'd think the momentum be with them on a Tuesday night, long old trip for Sunderland as well. You'll be, they probably would have stayed the night before, I'm guessing, as well, like most professional teams do that these days. But yeah, to follow that up, you know, with a good win, because it's not an easy place to go, because the crowd, you know, the players will be able to hear the crowd all the time, and it's an intimidating place to go. So, you know, for Sunderland and that to, you know, almost boss it, almost, you know, and be a bit streetwise about it, you know, fair play to them. Yeah, so keeps the win, keeps them, you know, as we'll see in a minute, and we'll be jumping for joy when he sees that table.
I will say as well, if Luton play like that all season, they're going to be absolutely fine. As they did play very well. You know, we were fortunate to get 3 points, but, you know, you got to take your chances, haven't you? Look at that.
Simon's put as well, can we move on, please? Sick of a championship now.
Nah.
should we do a championship special and not mention any of the other leagues, just for Simon?
Can I ask me question now then?
Yeah, or do you want me to ask it to you?
Who's top of the championship, everybody?
Who's top of the championship?
I know the lads.
Look at that. Look at that. 8 points clear in Norwich, that'll do me.
So, the championship table, it is Sunderland who are top of the championship. They have 25 points. Burnley a second on 22 points. Leeds United a third on 22 points. West Brom a fourth on 19 points. Sheffield United a fifth, also on 19 points. Blackburn Rovers are sixth, also on 19 points. And then in the relegation zone, in 22nd, we have Coventry on 9 points. QPR are 23rd on 8 points. And Portsmouth are bottom of the championship, also on 8 points. So, let's have a look. Do you want to speak first, Claire, about Stockport?
Yeah, sure.
No problem at all. While you do that, I'm just going to quickly get a drink of water because I can feel my throat.
So, obviously, we went to Charlton on Saturday and it finished 1-1. Louis Barry scored, shock horror, in the 12th minute. It was a penalty. And it was a penalty. But other than that, we weren't very good. We did not play good football, and we were definitely lucky to get a point. And I know that from me and Graham, that he would have been much more unhappy than I was. I was really pleased with that point. Obviously, Sam travelled, and he said we just played absolutely awfully. So. That in the background's distracting me. I didn't know what it was. It's Daisy's horse. After that horse talk before.
It's near joke. It's near joke.
Oh my god! That's just public. What the hell? That was terrible.
We haven't got very far, Shell, by the way. Just had loads of laughs.
Did I not miss anything?
Nah, just Claire laughing.
Again.
There we go.
What are we laughing about this time?
Me getting distracted by that.
By what? What is it?
It's Daisy's horse.
Type and see.
Yeah.
Is it a male horse or a female horse?
Horse. It's whatever you want it to be.
Definitely a male horse.
Wait.
I nearly dribbled.
Get like a jump over my barrier at work.
Don't want another health and safety report for that.
No, we definitely
Yeah,
don't.
so we were definitely lucky, and I'm pretty sure Graham's probably put that in the comments somewhere. Jesus Christ, you know. If it's still Sam, put me off now. I don't know what I said. If he's still here, I'm sure he said that already. Yeah.
Jenna's put, oh, Claire is right back. I love it.
Stop horsing about. I'm laughing and Ben's shaking his head.
I'm just like, you know, trying to take in that Mr. Luke's dad's. I'm happy.
Yeah, but is that because he's a Newcastle fan?
He must be. Yeah.
Most people from Gateshead are Newcastle fans.
Should focus on his own team, shouldn't he? Really.
But Yeah, those that stand out for me on this one.
Yeah.
Is Reading. What an absolute amazing Reading. But also Cambridge, because they were rock bottom without a win. And that's a fantastic win for them against Wigan. So,
Rebecca, any standouts for you on here?
I mean, the result isn't that shocking, but the Lincoln and Birmingham match, purely just because it was 1-1 at half time, and I am there rooting for Lincoln to go on and win that match. They went 1-0 up quite early on, and you're just like, can they be the ones that do it? But Birmingham played as Birmingham do. But the good news is, for me anyway, don't know if Lincoln fans are that happy, but Ethan Hamilton started for them, so he's getting his minutes back in now, which is good.
Love that.
How long till Steve Evans gets sacked?
Oh, not be long.
It won't, will it?
Not be long.
Did he get booked this week?
No, he wasn't on the touchline, was he? Because he'd already been.
Oh, yeah, of course. I wondered if he still got booked though, just because it's Steve Evans. Just going back to the Stockport game, Graham has put, agree, Claire, was definitely a penalty, no argument there. One of those games where we did everything but score. Pleased with the performance, but disappointed we couldn't turn it into 3 points.
Fair. I'll assist.
Uncle Nick, any standouts for you on this one?
It doesn't look a brilliant result as such, but Wickham getting another good win against Peterborough, and that puts them in the top 3. And so, yeah, I think they've probably had a bit of a rocky time or a change over the past couple of seasons. So that keeps them in touch, and they've got a game in hand on the Hollywood mob, so that's can put them above them. So that's all good.
Yeah. Uncle Nick, did you hear the story about their striker, Richard Cohn?
No.
It's currently the joint top goal scorer in League One. And he grew up in the Ivory Coast. He was forced to live on the street after being kicked out of his house. And basically, he couldn't really play football. And he didn't get a chance to finish school because of what had happened. But he got handed this really good lifeline. And his friend introduced him to a president of something called Don't Forget Them.
Right.
It's basically an association that uses sports to help people that are in really difficult situations. And it opened the door to passion for football. So he was told then at that point, if he trained every day and worked really hard, he'd be accepted onto the programme. And potentially it could be selected for the Homeless World Cup, which was in Cardiff. So it was picked to play for the Ivory Coast in 2019. And that was his first footstep on a plane. And he really made a lasting impression at the Homeless World Cup. Ended up staying in the UK and joined Athletic Newham, who were in the 9th tier of football. And the near Dagenham, he scored over 100 goals in 3 seasons for him. And so he continued impressing and got a load of positive stories, but because of his past, it prevented him from playing professionally. But there was a really, really lengthy process, and he signed for Wickham in January, literally just in January. And the FA and EFL ratified it and were like, yeah, fine. So it's gone from playing on the streets of his country, unable to finish school, unable to play football because he didn't have any shoes or anything, to playing for Wickham, and he's just a goal scorer. He's doing really, really well. And I'm pretty sure he's only 21. So
brilliant. Yeah.
Love
That's
that.
good. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's excellent. Take the chance when you can.
And when he did, the thing is, it was 2019 when he played in that Homeless World Cup. And you know what? He was interviewed after it, and it wasn't anything like, I'm happy to be playing football. He was like, I'd like to be successful, but if I'm not, I want to go back to school because I didn't have that chance. And I want to become a lawyer or a doctor, who knows? But what a journey.
Yeah.
I just love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Good luck to him.
That's proper melting my heart. My eyes are filling up. Oh, I love that. I love stories like that, though. Everyone's saying as well, thanks for sharing, Claire. Great story. I feel like we've got our own Sky Sports news going on with Chris.
We don't need to know about Scotland. It's not Monday night.
Mic drop. There's a lot of mic drop moments today.
I don't like Rangers, so.
No, I don't like Rangers either, funnily enough.
Rangers.
Ben, is there any standouts for you on here?
Couple. Northampton, big win for them against Leyton Orient down at the bottom. Karen McKeon getting the winner early in the second half. So, yeah, like I say, they need to, as we always say every week, need to be picking up the points around them, and Northampton have been slipping a little bit. They've always been flirting around with that bottom four. So, yeah, to get a win against Orient, always massive for them. But I think, to be fair, we've got to look at Reading at the moment. They've just gone completely under the radar. Yeah. I think that's their in the last 5 they've had. Exceptional for everything that's been going on at the football club since the beginning of the season. And the players are delivering from right now. I mean, they're just outside the playoffs at the moment, aren't they? So, yeah, absolutely fantastic for a supporter. Them right now. Like I say, they could be one of the dark horses this year, the way they're going about it at the moment. But it's still early days. But I think they would rather be where they are right now, just in case if anything else goes wrong, they get a points deduction. At least they'll still be in a fairly enough comfortable position, or at least going into minus points. So yeah, well done to them. Big win for them.
We've got an update off Sam. He's put United game update. Jose Mourinho has been sent off. He's still box office.
I love Mourinho. Love him.
United playing now?
Yeah.
Sam this in Monday night, Sam.
Oh, but at least he's there supporting us, though. At least they're supporting us. And is there any standouts for you on here?
Just Cambridge beating Wigan. Obviously, that's their first win of the season as well. So, yeah, it's not nice to have, teams in October who haven't won yet. So, fair play to Cambridge.
100%. I'm just looking to see if there's any that stand out for me, but not really. I mean, a good win for Stevenage away at Mansfield, because Mansfield have been doing pretty well, haven't they, to be fair to them.
The boys Bolton won.
I'm not saying it. Not saying it.
Go to Barnsley.
Barnsley.
That's like Barnsley. It is Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Oh.
Fight me.
Sam's had a mic drop moment now as well.
Fight me.
Just going back to the chat as well. Wolsey, obviously, he is a Reading fan. He has put, can be in the top 6 by Saturday 5 p.m. if we win or draw, because Exeter play Huddersfield, who are 5th and 6th on Saturday, and one of them dropping points either way. So it's nice to dream. And after beating Exeter away Tuesday night, I've got so much hope. I love that, because what they've been through and what they're still going through as well. I love that. Oh, it's made my heart melt. Yeah. Claire, do you want to talk Stockport again?
Sure thing, Buttercup. So I actually think I asked Danny on the podcast chat if he'd fell asleep, and that was because Northampton were absolutely shocking in the first half. I mean, we had a lot of the ball, but my age-old saying of all fart, no poo was very, very accurate for our play at that point. Have you not heard that before, Rebecca? I love that saying. So we hit the woodwork, and we had quite a lot of chances, but we just couldn't put the ball away. I suppose similar to what Graham was saying about Charlton on Saturday. Sam actually looked at one point in the first half. We had 72% possession or something like that. And we were just all over him, but we went in half-time 0-0, and it kind of carried on in the same vein, but we did improve a bit, and we had some big chances. Then they hit the bar, and And it just would have been them like really typical for that to go in. And then we got awarded a penalty, and Northampton's manager, well, all the bench were absolutely livid about it. But I'm just gonna say, I've seen it back, and it is a penalty. Like Kyle Wootton was dragged down to the floor in the box. Like, you can't do that. And he was like properly dragged down. I think he put himself in a position where the defender was having to do it. And it's one of them where sometimes you don't get it. But I think any fan of any team would be disappointed if they didn't get that penalty. Anyway, guess who scored? Louis Barry. So, yeah, he scored again.
Sorry, I'm blowing my nose. I missed it. I was like, quick! Louis Barry.
So yeah, he scored again, and then it's literally like going into extra time, added time, whatever. And I actually sent my friend a message saying they're going to score now. Literally 2 minutes later, they scored. 93rd minute equaliser, free header from the middle of the goal. But what really frustrated me was, and I don't know if Sean wants to be honest about it in the comments, like Fiorini was fouled, like literally pulled down, dragged down in the lead up to the goal. So I feel like even though they were really fuming that we'd got a penalty, which was a penalty, like we can feel aggrieved to have conceded that because we should have had a free kick. But I have to like say the referee wasn't great, but he wasn't dead bad. Like, I think the bar is set quite low anyway, isn't it? Because the standard of refereeing has gone so low in the last few years. But I mean, you can't blame a referee and you can't blame a decision that you did or didn't get, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to score more goals essentially and keep the goals out. So you can't give someone a free header and you can't make a challenge like that in the box. Like, that's all there is to it. And we should have defended that header regardless of whether people thought we should have had a free kick or not. But what I do want to say is, of course, we won the league last year, and like it's our first year in League One in such a long time. But I feel like there's an air of entitlement at the moment with some of our fans that are really, really fuming with results. And it's a fine line, because it's fine to be disappointed to have not won that game on Tuesday. But at the end of the day, we've had such a massive amount of shots in the last 3 games. And you just know that at some point soon, we are going to absolutely hammer someone. Like, we're 11 games in, we're 9th in the league. You know, I'm really happy about that. And I said at the beginning I'd be happy with mid-table. And that's why I made so much fuss of being like, here's Double League One, because I knew it wouldn't last. And I said that straight, all the way along. But I just think progress is progress, and I'm really pleased with how we do it. So, yeah. I do feel sorry for Sean that I've watched that.
We're only a point off the playoffs, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Like, really happy with it. Yeah, we do draw a lot of games.
Our league game on Tuesday night, or was that the...
Yeah, it was called off when we all had internationals.
Oh, the nationals are okay, yeah.
It's a question mark whether I can go at the minute, because I'm on call. So it's whether I can get someone to cover me.
I'll cover you, Claire.
Oh,
Imagine me.
I'm on call right now. I forgot to tell you, so if I get anything through.
Don't worry. Going back obviously now to League One, I'm going to come to you again, Claire. Obviously you spoke Stockport, but is there any standouts for you on this slide from League One?
So, I'm sorry, I'm going to go for 2, and I'm probably going to nick
fine.
else is thinking, but I think Peterborough, you can't not mention that 5-1 win against the team that are hoping to be up there. I know they've had an indifferent start, but that's a really good result. And secondly, it's a bit of a derby game as well. Stevenage and Cambridge. Like Stevenage have had an all right start, and obviously Cambridge have had a terrible start, and then they've gone and won 2 games in a row. So I think that's a really, really good win for Cambridge. Like stupidly good win.
Chris agrees as well. Rebecca, stand out for you.
Yeah, I agree with Claire on what she said. I also think Crawley beating Lincoln. It was Rob Elliott's first win as Crawley manager. So it was a good one for
Sorry,
them.
Luke.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
apologies.
they better bloody not go all guns blazing on Saturday because they've been beat.
Uncle Nick, is there any for you?
No, nothing really to add to what was already said. The one I would have said was Crawley, because obviously they've been struggling. To get that win against Lincoln, and I'll be interested. We'll come on to it when we cover League Two. But if there's any Lincoln fans watching, can you give us a comment on your former manager, who is at the moment still with us?
Really intrigued to know.
You tell us all the pent-up rage going to be coming out when we get into League Two, isn't there? He's back in his main room as well. Nick's back in his main room.
Yeah, I'm
and
back.
it's soundproofed.
Ben, and any others standouts for you, or have we mentioned them all?
Yeah, I think we pretty much mentioned them all. If there's anyone to cover, I would have probably said Crawley's
I've
been
got
thinking as well.
Yeah, nothing. I've got nothing, Sha. I think Wigan Wanderers because they're doing really well, but we mentioned them before, so yeah, I've got nothing.
I'll just very quickly go to the chat as well because there is a lot of comments before I get to the League One table. So Graham, he has put about Charlton. What a strange game for us. Played awful for 65 minutes. We had no width and no urgency. The subs Nathan Jones made worked and we looked a different team. Barnsley weren't great either. I love the spelling. I think that's because of me, isn't it? We should have won it in the 93rd minute, but we went full Charlton and conceded in the 95th minute. We didn't deserve to win in fairness, but like Saturday, disappointed not to get 3 points again. And then he has also put, I feel like Graham's having a rant now. A frustrating couple of games. Birmingham aside, the league is wide open, so these draws could cost us come next May.
Yeah.
Let's just really quickly get back to my chat. There's a lot of chat going on tonight, so... Lucas put, I'm fine with Crawley winning. Glad Rob Elliott has got a win under his belt. Hopefully they can kick on from it. I love that, Luke. Bigger person. Absolutely love it. We had you ran the other week and now back to normality. Wolsey has put, I think people forget that Exeter kept 7 clean sheets in a row before we played them and beat them. That surprised all Reading fans, to be honest. I agree. Just going back now to Sam's put Uncle Nick's getting ready to fry a Lincolnshire sausage. Graham has put, you can't name me saying Barnsley, Shah, so I'm spelling it how I'm saying it in your honour. Thank you. We have got as well, Johnny has put, I know we have gone past the Championship, but I just want to say we were shit against Leeds and Middlesbrough.
They were against Leeds, I'll give them that. I never watched them against Bournemouth. They were absolutely awful against Leeds. No.
Oh, funny. Let's go to the League One table and then we will speak League Two. So, top of League One, we have Birmingham on 28 points. Wrexham are second on 24 points. Wycombe Wanderers are third on 23 points. Mansfield are fourth on 23 points. Huddersfield Town are fifth on 19 points. Exeter City are sixth on 19 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Crawley Town, who are 21st on 10 points. Shrewsbury Town are 22nd on 8 points. Cambridge United are 23rd on 7 points. And Burton Albion are bottom of League One on 4 points. Everyone, every week I get this. Come on. Chill out.
She's from Manchester. Get over it.
No. Come on. I speak different to everyone. Uncle Nick, you've not been on for a while, and obviously we've not heard about Swindon. Do you want to talk at Swindon?
I'd love to. I went to only my second game of the season on Saturday. And we were poor, to say the least. As soon as I saw the team sheet, we won the previous week at Cheltenham. First time we've beat them at their place since God knows when. Played reasonably well, went 3-0 up, conceded 2 goals and could have thrown it away, but managed to hold on. So what's the wonderful manager do? Changes aside, only takes one player out who was probably one of our best players on the day, which totally disrupts the midfield. He brings Cottrell back in because, and his reasoning was, well, he played for the Wales under-21 side on the Saturday, so I had to bring him back in, which is an absolute load of rubbish. We conceded a 94th minute penalty, and there's lots of issues about whether it was going to go over the bar, go wide, go in. And by a young kid we've got on loan from Sheffield United, who hasn't been great. He's been starting to get a lot of stick. We think he's not being managed properly. And the comments the managers come out with saying things like, if I had a daughter, I'd be quite happy for her to bring a lad like him home because he's a real nice lad and he's a super bloke and he's really intelligent. Like, he's a bloody footballer. Just what are you talking about? Our manager has lost the plot. He talks about, apart from when they got spanked by Warsaw 4-0 at home, he said, every other manager's gone away saying, we were really lucky to get a result out of Swindon. We were really lucky. He's delusional. We are absolute crap. We are not playing any football whatsoever. There's no tactics. There's no plan B. There's absolutely nothing. The best player we've got is a 19-year-old kid who's come through from last year's from the academy, and that's the only bright spark of the team. Everything else, apart from, I'll give him credit actually, Will Wright, who must now regret leaving Crawley in League One to come to Swindon in League Two because he thought he was going to be playing for a side who were challenging for promotion. We are in grave danger of going out of the league. And there's big rumours today. There was no press conference today. Big rumours that the manager was sacked yesterday, and they haven't announced it yet. Obviously, don't know how true it is. But a lot of fans fear that if he has been sacked, we will end up with one of the assistant coaches, Gav Gunning, who took over last season. And we can't see that being any improvement whatsoever. We're not going to bring in another decent manager because there's no money in the club. We're losing 2,000 fans a week from last season. Gates are down. There's total apathy around the fan base. The chairman and the people behind the scenes and the CEO have sucked the life out of the club. And I say I've only been to 2 games. They're home Saturday. I'm not going Saturday. They're home in the FA Cup. I'm not going to that. I want the team to do well. I always want my team to win, but I've really got virtually zero interest in going and supporting the regime. And that's a view of a hell of a lot of people at Swindon. We're third from bottom. We've got, for League Two, whichever way you look at it, we're an established club. We are quite a big club, if you say what's big, with a history, with good gates. But we're where we deserve to be, as they say. The league table doesn't lie. We're third from bottom, and by the end of going into the end of next month, there's a high chance we'll be in the bottom two, and not many people can see it getting any better. And we're in massive danger of going out of the Football League. It is that bad. And I've stopped listening to his press conferences after games because he just talks absolute nonsense. So, nobody wants to see anybody lose their job, but he has got to go because he hasn't got any idea what he's doing. It's as simple as that. On paper, we've got some decent players. And one of the people that I know, one of the regular goers, the other week when the players again got beat and there were a few boos after the game, and the players, were going around doing the clapping to the fans, and she could hear one of the players who, again, he wasn't featured much, but he's probably one of our more skillful players, saying to the fans, "It's not our fault. It's not our fault." So there's so much wrong at the club with everything that's going on. And I see the other day that because we own the ground now, there are 50% ownership with the club and the trust. The club pay rent to the trust, but that money should be used, or they only pay half rent, and the rest of the money should be used for improvements in and around the ground. Now, the trust have said they're stopping any payment because they haven't seen any evidence or receipts of what work's being carried out. And that's just how bad it is. So we're an absolute car crash at the moment. Say Doncaster didn't look great. They played very well. They shut down really quickly. They took their chances. Yeah, they got a 94th minute penalty. A draw wouldn't have been an unfair result, but we certainly didn't deserve to win. And Tuesday night at Salford, oh my God, first 45 minutes was probably one of the worst football performances you will ever see. I mean, Salford are terrible, absolutely as bad as we are. And the only redeeming factor in that game was they've got a young right winger. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's like Enmai, 20-year-old, really good. And they say our best player is Joel McGregor, wing back. Sorry, he's a left winger. McGregor is right-sided attacking wing back. And the duel between those two was absolutely brilliant. They were both going hammer and tongs at each other. And that was the only redeeming feature of the game. And to show how bad it was, for those that watch lower leagues, Drysdale was the referee, who is usually not very good. He was probably the best performer on the pitch. And that shows how bad it was. And it's just like, oh, they've scored a second goal. Oh, well, they'll get the 3 points and we'll get nothing. So hats go off to, I think it's 260 away fans travelled up there for a Tuesday night game, not expecting anything. And that's exactly what they got. And it's just so sad. It just breaks you. That is the state of a club with a history, which has always had good players, good managers, good setup, high number of fans. And seeing what it is now, it's unfortunately it's an absolute joke. So yeah, and that's me trying to be very measured and not getting too upset. But at the moment, I'm voting with my feet, and I'm not going to games, which hurts me because one of the reasons I go to football is to spend time with my son, who's now in a job where he doesn't have to work Saturdays, whereas he did last few seasons. So the opportunity is to meet up with him every home game and go, but I just haven't got the heart to go. So it's not great at the moment football-wise. So hope that hasn't dampened the spirits too much for everybody, but that's where we are. So hopefully it'll get better if the manager has gone. But again, we can't see any improvement with what's available. So it's it's tough times watching the town.
That's the thing, Nick, at the minute for you guys. Like, I don't think it's a problem with the manager. I think it's a problem with like other people within the club. Like,
yeah, 100%. It will never change. In the moment, Morfuni needs to sell. The trouble is that there's no, unless the trust start organising something, different sections of fans can't do it. And also to show how he put a letter out a couple of weeks ago in response to some of the things that were being said. And it was an angry letter. Now, any of us who've worked in an environment where you might draft out an email because something like this happened, what do? You pause, you read it, then maybe that's a bit stuff I might need to change this. But it was just an angry letter having to go at anything in everybody. And then a few days later, the CEO sent a note out saying that the county ground in the area around it is private property, and anybody organising or carrying out any protests will basically have the police on them. So that's how bad the club is being run, and alienating the fans. The people at the top, there's no football people. There's nobody who understands how you need to run a club. And yeah, you're right, Claire. A decent manager could come in, and the other thing, and you can't ever prove it. The other thing, I myself and others think is happening, that the players we've got on loan are given preference over our own players, and the reasons for that is that if a player plays X number of games over a season as a loanee, it doesn't cost the club anything. So if we don't play them, we'll end up spending money to the parent club, and certainly to bring Cottrell straight back in. And again, nothing against him as an individual, because he played for Wales under 21s. Well, this. So you don't change a winning side. That was their second win of the season. You don't change a winning side when your form is that bad. 2 wins out of 13. It's pitiful. So and unless things do change, but the rumours are that he's asking. Well, he's saying it's not for sale, but if there was a sensible offer, he'd consider it. As they all do, and it's the same with anything. Every player and every club is probably for sale if the right offer comes in. But the rumour is that he's asking far too much money for what the club is worth. So we're in just a desperate situation.
Like, how can you threaten fans for protesting? Like,
because he's saying it's private property. I don't know.
The same man who is happy to take the money every week to go and watch a football match. I think if enough people were to protest, then it's not going to prosecute everyone. It's going to want money coming in, so maybe everyone needs to just do it.
Well, I think people are protesting by not going, like myself. I'd be interested to see how many are there Saturday, because and there's less people in there than is reported, because they include season ticket holders, whether they turn up or not, because that's a ticket that's been sold or a seat that's been sold. So I think it was 6,000 odd at the last game, which is say a couple of thousand down. So it'll be interesting to see what the next couple of gates are. I think we've got Colchester in the FA Cup. I think we'd be lucky to get 5,000 for that, if that. That's how bad it is.
I hope things improve for you.
Sorry.
I hope things improve. I hope.
Well, yeah, we all do, but at the moment, you can't see it happening. Say 2 wins out of 13 for a team that we say got a second highest budget since the Di Canio days. Well, that doesn't stack up. So yeah, it's sad. So Anyway, somebody come on who's a bit more cheerful. It's got a bit more upbeat. But that's where we are.
Rebecca!
Come on, Rebecca. Cheer us up.
I mean, I'll just speak about Saturday then, because Tuesday. Aki and Barrow winning 1-0. Another huge win for us. We were on a roll of 3 for 3, so we did start off strong. Sean Morley on the score sheet again. I don't know how he does it, but incredible player for us. And the way he runs midfield and just the way he controls the match is incredible. It was a very difficult watch the second half. We played brilliant in the first half, but we sat back. And Aki being Aki, we can't sit back because we've done it before and we end up drawing. And that is our issue. So we are all there thinking, oh, God, what's going to happen here? We let them into the match. They were coming at us and it was one of them. We were there thinking, right, we're either going to draw or lose this. Incredible defensive performance. I don't think I've seen Zach and Rawson be that good of a defensive duo this season. First clean sheet, Bill Krellin pulling out saves. It was just... the back line with Krellin looked really good and it was a really strong one. It's like one of the best we've seen this season. First clean sheet, it was what they needed and the confidence in the defence was high after that match. So hopefully if we just ignore Tuesday's fixture, go again on Saturday, back home again, get the fans going, and it's a good time at the moment. I mean, we are where we are in the league, but it's too early to be calling things like that. But we are starting to see them look more like a team and everything seems to be gelling and coming together. So it's like you've got Costello, you've got Worley, you've got like the attacking players that we've got are playing how they should be now. Like they're starting to gel properly. And there are a couple of hit and miss chances where we're still struggling with headers at times. So rather than them going where they need to be, they do go straight up. But we are learning how to head the ball, which is quite good for us. But yeah, it was a good first half. If we ignore the second half, I think that felt like a full 90 minutes.
Do you want to quickly say about Tuesday?
Yeah. The score doesn't reflect our performance, I'll be honest. We were unlucky to not draw, and I feel as though, them scoring in the first minute didn't help. Yeah. It was Zacko decided, right, we're going to play it out front back here, so he passes it straight in the line of the MK Dons striker. I think it was Gilby, and he just slotted it in back at net, and it was one of them. Incredible assist from Zacko. It was just a shame that it ended up going to them and not one of our defenders, but it is what it is for that one. We did struggle to come back from that. We did keep pressing. We kept having chances, but there was just nothing that we could do. I was very happy. Josh Woods got his first goal of the season. Get his confidence up, get him scoring, and we do have a very good striker to come off the bench and influence a match. So it's always good to see him scoring. As I said, hopefully many more, but it was just one of them. We were 2-0 down before he came on, gets the late enough goal. We did have time to, but there were just no coming back from it.
Who have you got weekend, Rebecca?
We've got Walsall.
Oh, they're doing well, aren't they, also?
Yeah, Walsall on Saturday, then Everton under-21s next Tuesday.
You can do it. You can do it. Stay positive.
Very.
Stay positive.
Very.
Rebecca, did you not hear this MK Dons manager, Scott Lindsay, saying that MK are the biggest team in League Two and probably the biggest team compared to League One as well. So obviously you were going to get beat because they're such a big side. Jesus, like no fans, no history. Oh, just crazy, absolutely crazy.
That I don't even know what to say with that one. It's just, I mean, when we saw the videos of the ground, like we don't take many on away trips. I think to Gillingham we took 71 fans. Last year at Mansfield we took 61. So we aren't like the biggest ones for away matches, and we look like we outnumbered the home fans, which is mad for us. It's usually the other way around, even when we're at Aki. So it's like, it's a bit of an odd comment from him, but...
Someone I follow on Twitter, I think I follow them, or someone I come across, literally named all the National League North, National League South teams as well. It said teams bigger.
Bigger than MK. Yeah.
So that really made me laugh.
You can even go further down National League South, I reckon.
I think my little lad's grassroots team's bigger. He plays under 10s. Before I go to obviously the League Two fixtures, just really quickly, what do we all think about this Rihanna and ASAP Rocky possible takeover of Tranmere? I mean, how random. Surely it's not just me who thinks out of every club, it's completely random.
It is weird, isn't it? What looked at thinking when Tranmere. Yeah, it's close to Liverpool, I guess. Suppose that's something, but not sure.
No, it's mental.
Literally, we are turning into the NFL now, aren't we? The English game.
Yeah.
We won't be that far off it now, won't we? I mean, obviously, they're talking about the La Liga going to America now. We won't be that far off, I don't think. So it'd be down to League Two. Imagine Tranmere against Walsall in New York.
Yeah, that's the danger. You get too many American owners, and they'll be able to have a collective and start making decisions that are totally anti-grassroots football.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I didn't know what an ASAP Rocky was until I found out he was taking over Tranmere. I didn't have a clue what it was, but turns out he's a singer. So there you go.
The only good thing is, from a podcast point of view, if all these American superstars are taking over EFL clubs and maybe National League, we might get recognised over in America. I'm sure they love watching our podcast over there to find out what's going on.
You might get like LeBron James or something, Shah. You know what I mean? Someone what they meant. LeBron James takes over Rochdale. We meant.
Imagine. Sam's put, other than being Rihanna's boyfriend, I had no idea who the
I
hell
didn't
he
even
was.
know that. I didn't even was good. I thought she was still going out with Chris Brown. I didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue who he was.
So, weekend's fixtures. Because you are the League Two fans of the podcast, Uncle Nick and Rebecca. Uncle Nick, I'm going to come to you first. Any standouts on here?
Yeah, you got to give it to Walsall. That's a cracking win at Grimsby. Especially 4-1 in Grimsby have been doing pretty well. That's probably the main one. Gillingham have been on a bit of a downer. I thought they were going to be competing at top end of the table, but it'll be all right. I think they've lost 5 on the trot now, but they'll be all right on Saturday, because guess where they're going? But yeah, for me, and I guess actually you just talked about Tranmere, so again, that's any away win in the league is decent.
Yeah. In the chat as well, Aaron has actually put Dave Artell taking Grimsby up. Very good.
Yeah, they have been doing well.
I love Artell. I think he's a really good manager, to be fair. Really like him. Graham has put, well done, Bradford. Dietrich, if you do want to send in any match reports, or if there is any League Two fans, let me know. Rebecca, any standouts on this slide that hasn't been mentioned?
I mean, apologies to Kieran, but Chesterfield winning 3-0. I mean, Chesterfield is showing why they're in League Two. They promote, like, they are doing quite well. And to get a 3-0 win against Newport is a strong one. I mean, Carlisle getting a draw.
Johnny said as well, at Crinton for you, Rebecca.
Carlisle getting a draw against Harrogate. They are really struggling at the minute, so I think they'll take anything at the moment.
I'm quickly going to go now to the midweek fixtures. And Ben, I'm going to come to you first. Any standouts on this one?
It's a tough one actually, because it's all pretty same. But I mean, I guess I got to look at Bromley getting a win at Doncaster Rovers. Good win for them. They had to ride it out for the last 15 20 minutes. I'm pleased as well for our ex-Stone Levi Manchik. I think he got his first league start. He did for them on Tuesday, which I was really pleased about. Didn't score, but still had probably a big involvement. But yeah, for Bromley, especially after defeating Saturday to Tranmere, they really needed that 3 points on the road. Because there have been a bit of a slump recently. They've just been slowly dropping down after a really promising start. So Andy Woodman will be, relieved more than anything now that they sort of feel like they're back on track a little bit. Against what is a top side in Doncaster. Not many teams go to their stadium and win games of football, particularly in the last year or so. So fair play to Bromley. Good win for them.
Anne, any standouts for you?
Just. Basically, I like to in mostly I like mention teams we haven't given a mention much this season, and Port Vale have won. They've won two games in the week. I think the top of the league now as well. So they're just quietly going about the business, doing really well. So fair play to them, and they probably deserve to be like a League One side. They're a good, well-run club. So we'll go for them.
Rebecca.
I'm not sure on this one.
Don't say Newport. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't think Kieran's even in the chat. So we'll talk about him.
Gillingham are really struggling now. It is a shock because I thought they were going to be ones that were flying at top at table. But they are really struggling. And I think it was Jack Nolan, ex-Accrington player, put a tweet out saying that the fans need to stick with the team and not turn their back on them because they know they are going through a rough patch, but just got to stand by them. So I mean, fair play to Newport, away win at Gillingham. Not the easiest place to go, especially with that scaffolding of an away end. I mean, Walsall beating Carlisle just puts it into perspective how much Carlisle are struggling at the moment. I know Walsall they are doing quite well at the moment, but Carlisle are really struggling. But to get a goal, it's something.
Definitely. Just quickly on Gillingham, I know they've been through quite a few managers, haven't they? Obviously since the takeover. Do you think this manager's under pressure as well, or do you reckon they'll give him time? Seems to be under a lot of pressure. Yeah,
he's certainly under a lot of pressure from fans now. I think when considered at the start they've had now 5 defeats on the trot, and for a side that's meant to be, a lot of us obviously tipped to get automatic promotion, that's not the way to be going about it. And it doesn't matter how well you started, if you're going 5 defeats in a row, it's not good. And that's the thing. He will be under pressure because obviously the American owners have had to dip into their pockets this year because they want promotion back to League One as soon as possible. Because with all due respect, we've always probably seen Gills. I hate to say it, but they have always been, I guess, a League One club. I guess with the stadium and everything like that. Obviously, I know there's better stadiums. Obviously, League One. Don't get me wrong. But they've always been traditionally sort of a third tier club, and the way they're going about it, they're just slowly slipping down the table. I mean, they were second or third not long ago. Now they're in the bottom half of the table. So it's Mark Bond's got his work cut out there. He's got a big job in his hands in the next couple of weeks. But like Nick was saying, if they go down to Swindon, then it will be under huge pressure, especially with the way it's been going down there for them. So there's always a bit of. Their fans certainly see Swindon as rivals because of something that happened donkeys years ago with don't understand that rivalry.
big punch up with players and all sorts going on. But just looking at the table, and they've won 6 and lost 6, only drawn 1, so they're only 2 points off playoffs still. So they put a couple of wins together. But we when we played Gillingham, I think it must have been a couple of seasons ago. We were sat right in front of the press box, and Swindon scored in the first minute. And like an idiot, me and my lad turned round to the press box, and we were going, yeah. And 11 minutes, we were 3-1 down. Oh, this is great. I think it ended up a 3-3 draw. We should have won it at the end when our forward was through 1-on-1 but failed to score. So it's like, yeah, never get too cocky too early in a game. So God knows what sort of game it'll be Saturday. But I say I'll follow it on Twitter. So yeah, hopefully we get a win. But Swindon Gillingham is always interesting.
Just go into the chat before I read out the table. Obviously, we do have Dietrich. She's our Bradford fan. So she's put, my match report for Saturday. This was our third successive win as we've come from behind to beat Gillingham. Goals from Neil Byrne and Jack Shepherd. Did anyone see Shepherd's goal? Absolutely buzzing.
Beauty. Absolute beauty.
And Neil Byrne.
I know. He's played for us as well. We had him on loan. This was years ago, though.
No way.
She's put for Tuesday as well. My match report. A point is a point. Great strike from Cheltenham. Have to give it to them. Very happy for Neil Byrne to get another goal. Great player he is. On to Doncaster at the weekend. Oh, I love Dietrich. She's always so positive, isn't she? I love her. So the League Two table. So top of League Two, we have Port Vale on 27 points. Walsall a second on 25 points. Notts County a third on 23 points. Doncaster a fourth on 23 points. Bradford City a fifth on 22 points. Crewe Alexandra are sixth on 21 points. I nearly had a blunder again then and read out the goal difference. Grimsby Town a seventh on 21 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Carlisle United on 8 points. And below them are unfortunately still Morecambe. They have 7 points. But just what Graham's pointed out as well, they've got a -5.
That's what I
It's mental.
Their goal difference is the same as Swindon's in 22nd.
I know this league is crazy because again, Grimsby have won 7, lost 6, and drawn none. And I think last season, Crawley, and I think they lost 19 games and finished up in the playoffs. So, you know, as long as you win as many as you lose, you've still got a good chance of getting somewhere. It's the draws that actually kill teams.
That's
mental.
Yeah, that league is crazy.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to be really nice now. I'm going to go out of order and I'm going to go to you, Ben. I'm going to go National League South. I'll wait till last with Rochdale. National League South.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, we only had a game on Saturday because after all the commotion of Monday night. But yeah, Slough Town, they've been a bit of a bogey team for us in recent years. Don't seem to beat them too often. It was a tough game for us. Like Slough set themselves up really well. I really like the manager, Scott Davis, the way he sets up his teams, the way he goes about his business. They would have been quite keen to put right an FA Cup disappointment last week against Woking. But to be fair to the lads, I thought we played actually really well. Probably very unlucky not to come away with the 3 points with chance after chance. Hit the crossbar twice, keeper pulled a couple of good saves. Managed to get our goal just on the stroke of half time. Aaron Blair turning in a post effort from about 3-4 yards out, really. Bit of a mistake, really, from the Slough defender to not clear it away from the corner. And then suddenly you almost feel like, right, okay, we should go and win this now by a couple more because we were dominant. But then again, they did have a couple of chances themselves, Slough, and managed to get it sort of around 10-15 minutes to the second half. We lost the ball cheaply in midfield. Jake Trusty lost the ball, allowed them to break away, and they got shot in sort of towards the near post. Still think I've been watching the replay enough times. Our keeper should have saved it because I feel like he sort of fell backwards a little bit. And it sort of snuck under him. I think he would have been disappointed with that, and it was a massive shame because I've been so keen to put him because I don't think, to be fair, in my social media, man of the match polls, I haven't really been giving him sometimes the credit when we get clean sheets. I haven't really been putting him in our sort of 4 players and that on Twitter. And I was going to because he made a couple of good saves in the game, but after that mistake, I thought I can't really put him in now, to be honest. So yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment. We had a couple of good chances towards the end. Sam Corn normally Mr. Reliable in front of goal. First shot blocks on the line and then smashed it. Smashed the second effort wide. Should have scored. I could just see the gaffer's face afterwards. He looks like he almost wanted to laugh. He's just like, look, how many more times we got to do this? Because Nick was just saying about draws killing teams now. I think that's 11 games now. We've drawn 5 of them, which for a team that wants to be going near the playoffs, it's not really good enough, to be honest, at the moment. I mean, at the end of the day, wins are going to determine where we are. But the positive is, I think that's 8 games unbeaten now in all competitions, which, for where we were when we lost our last game to Chelmsford 5-1, everyone was in a bit of a down place. So we're slowly steady at the moment. Obviously the league table doesn't make good reading for us at the moment, but then again, we have got games in hand. So we sit, I think, 19th at the moment. But it's not ideal. But then again, like I say, we're slowly creeping back up. With the football is getting better now. We're creating more chances, and that's what I was pleased about on Saturday. Was we created more chances, probably more chances we have in any game so far this season, and that's always been a problem for us since the start of the campaign. Not been potent in front of goal. We've not created enough for ourselves, but I'll be more pleased if we're creating the chances, even if we're not putting them away at this stage. At least we're creating the chances. So, good point. I think I would, you'd probably take it, but again at home, we still haven't won a league game at home yet, which is quite frustrating. We're about to come, so we need to turn up on Saturday against Hemel Hempstead. So, and that's going to be a tough one. But they've slipped a little bit in recent weeks. So yeah, but unfortunately Monday nothing to talk about because unfortunately there was a lot of traffic and there was a closure, the M25 and the Dartford crossing. So the referee made the call. The league were insisting that we played, but everyone, the referees made the call to say, look, the players have got to get over here. Obviously, all the fans got to get over there as well. I know a lot of AV fans didn't take it very well, thinking we'll just go around it towards London. Do you think? Look, we've all finished work at 5 o'clock. I don't want to be sitting in the Dartford crossing traffic for 2 hours trying to get across to watch us play AV. So I think, to be fair, sensible decision, I think, from the referee. So we'll have to just go then another Monday night. It was just a shame because I think we were the only game out in the Championship and National North and South that didn't play. Yeah. So a bit annoying, but again, it gives us a nice little break for Saturday.
Who have you got on Saturday again?
Hemel Hempstead.
I love it. I just had to get you to say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could tell from that look from the first time I said it. I knew you were waiting for it. So I wasn't going to cave into the pressure until you said it.
I know. Forced you into it. To be fair, though, you won it last week, so
true.
You've got my accent. Don't do tea.
What can I say? Just a natural in accents, aren't I? Said no one ever.
Chris is in the chat. He has put, my non-league team is St Albans. I'm so surprised we're near the bottom. We're not that bad.
They made it hard for us in the first game of the season. I'm surprised where they are at the moment. I felt a bit bad for them on Tuesday, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But why I feel so bad. But yeah, I'll tell you what though, there was some a fair few draws in that. I mean, Aveley, good win for them at Enfield, but the game that really caught my eye, I think it did for a lot of people, because I think it made the BBC Sport News, was the Dorking Wanderers game against Salisbury, because I'm pretty sure Dorking were 1-0 up. They scored their second goal, I think, with 85th minute, and you're thinking, no, that's it, cruise to victory.
Yeah.
By the 97th minute, they were 3-2 down. Salisbury, a couple of good, well-worked goals from them, and then we're talking the 100th minute. Our ex-stone Bobby Joe Taylor pops up with a last-minute equaliser. I mean, if you were at that game and you had to leave the game 10 minutes out like that, I would have gone mental, thinking I've missed it.
We've gone through all the motions of being like, yeah, we've got 3 points here. To fuck's sake, we've thrown it away.
Yeah.
Feeling like you've won because it's an equaliser right at the end, but probably still being a bit gutted because it all happened so quick.
Yeah, a bunch of amateurs is going to be good that week if they're there. I'm looking forward to that episode.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
because I'm looking forward to seeing Mark's reaction.
Any other standouts?
It's not. To be honest, I mean, to be fair, we're looking at Truro City. They just keep chipping away at these results. With the, I mean, John Askey, he's done it at a higher level. And, to be fair, I think my prediction's gone right back on me because I said they'll go down. But then I think I probably hadn't taken consideration about the new grounds, the exposure maybe they're getting now, because it is hard, hard to attract players down their way. And Torquay will know that very well as well. But 3-0 against Hampton, good result for them. And also, to be fair, a bit of credit onto Worthing as well. Good win against Tunbridge. Tunbridge have been a hard side to beat this year. They've been on a fantastic run, first round of the FA Cup, with the limited resources they've got. But yeah, Worthing, 3-2 winners and keeping themselves intact at the playoff places at the moment.
quickly going on to obviously Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday's game. I forgot about the Wednesday one at the bottom. Any standouts on that one, really?
I guess, Hampton Richmond beating Eastbourne Borough, that's a big win for Hampton because at one point they were just above relegation zone. I think they were 1-0 down with not probably about 15-20 to go. Managed to quickly turn it around 3-1. And again, Eastbourne have been the side that have been in right in form this year. They've really, kick-started what should have been the season they should have had last year, I guess, with the money they've got now. Now they've been a week. But yeah, for Hampton, they've really needed, a big response, particularly at home as well. I've always found their stadium being a very difficult place to go because the pitch is very close to all the supporters. You feel the atmosphere there a little bit. It's a hard one for them. And to be fair, Torquay as well, good win for them against Worthing. Paul Woodson, I think he's got a reaction out of those players that took Torquay since the FA Cup defeat. They're still sitting in and around. I think they're only 2 points off the top of the moment with a game in hand. So, I think Worthing would be a little disappointed because, one of our ex-players, Mo Fowl, posted with a goal disallowed. They were 2-1 down at the time, and it was a good 2 or 3 yards onside, and it was just inside the half as well, the Torquay half. So I felt a bit bad for him, and that just shows the standard of National League officiating again, just all-time low. They would have been disappointed not to come away with anything that night. But yeah, another good win for them. So I think there's probably a few, not really too many standouts to be fair. But Hornchurch's got a good point at Bournemouth actually as well. They've struggled as well. Luke Garrod made it a fortress again since he's gone back in there. And I have to say, I saw it today. Cracking goal from Tom Wright, who actually, again, another one used to play for us. I think he scored from about 35 yards out. He saw the keeper off his line, lobbed him. They've scored a couple of goals like that recently. They did it at Salisbury last week, and they've done it again on last night. So, they were so chipping away the points. I'm sort of glad they didn't win the game because we would be the side just above relegation otherwise. So it doesn't make the table still great reading at all. But, it could have been a lot worse, I guess.
Just before we move on to the table, we have Niall in the chat, and he's obviously put Kerrs and Ashton. We will be going to National League North very soon, and I've noticed there is a few new people in the chat tonight, so thank you so much for joining us. And if you are a National League or a National League North fan, we haven't covered them yet, so bear with us. We've got our very own Dan in the chat as well. He's put just in from work. What a lineup. Hugs to you all. Oh, hugs to you too, Dan. Right, the National League South table. So this is whether my voice lasts now. I can feel it. So top of the National League South, we have Farnborough on 26 points. Weston-super-Mare, our second on 24 points. Torquay United, a third on 24 points. Truro City, a fourth on 23 points. Emil Hempstead, our fifth on 22 points. Eastbourne Borough, our sixth on 22 points. Slough Town, a seventh on 21 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Enfield Town, who are 21st on 9 points. Averley are 22nd on 8 points. St Albans City are 23rd on 7 points. And still bottom of the table, we have Weymouth on 6 points. We will quickly go now. Let me get my graphic straight. To National League North. Luke as well, get your match reports out for ready. Because National League's next. That is the finale. So, National League North. Do you know what, Rebecca? I'm going to come to you first. Is there any standouts on here for you?
Oxford City beating Warrington. Mentioned Warrington a few times. They have been quite a decent side recently. It was a very first half dominated match. Both goals for Oxford were quite early on. They have been struggling recently. They've been on and off form quite a bit, so it's a solid win for them against Warrington.
Uncle Nick, they were your adopted team last season, weren't they? Are they still your adopted team, Oxford?
No, hold my hands up. I haven't really followed it this season. I'm done with football. Sorry.
I don't blame you.
I'm just going to concentrate on archery, and I've got a few pictures to put on the target, so it might improve my scores.
I can't wait for the Absolute Archery podcast next year.
I know.
So no, apologies to Oxford City. I haven't followed it this year, so hopefully they'll start improving. So yeah, it's looking a bit tight down in that table near the bottom end.
Just before I ask you other guys in the chat, so obviously Chris has put they had a game against Farsley. See, I said it all right then. I said it all right then. I concentrated on Friday night, and he's put Friday night and Spennymoor got a 3-0 win at Bradford against Farsley. Very comfortable game, and it was over after the first minute of the second half. Goals from Glenn Taylor. He scored 2 goals. And Rob Ramshaw got the 3 points and a clean sheet. Very good for them. Anne, what's happening to Needham Market?
I know, the wheels have fallen off, haven't they?
Completely.
Don't know what's
Were they
going
ever
on. I don't think they were ever on, to be fair, but they've definitely come off. The bumper's fallen off. The radiator's gone. The electric windows aren't working anymore.
Do you think we'll ever get there?
No.
No. Luke has put as well, I have a match report from Tuesday night as South Shields played Radcliffe since I went to that game. Send it us through. Chris has also put Saturday the 2nd of November, Needham away. Oh, what fun. Oh,
Yes,
Claire, is there any for you on here? Or do you want to talk about Brackley? I mean, you love it, don't you, Brackley?
I love it when they get beat.
Radcliffe beaten.
They're not doing very well either.
Got the revenge on Tuesday that beat Needham.
I suppose, I don't know. Kings Lynn, good win for them. Good old Sam Walker's doing a good job as their assistant manager. Cody Johnson is on loan there. So, yeah.
Hereford was a good result.
Massive result, yeah.
And got our ex-player Paul Caddis managing there. All we could do with him at Swindon. Come on, Cads, come back to town.
Do you reckon he'll come to Swindon? I mean, you're linked with him, aren't you?
Every time. Not if he's got any sense. If he did come back, I'll definitely I'll start watching him again. So come on, Cads, do me a favour.
Niall in the chat as well as put Alfreton beating Chorley is a good result. Any we've not mentioned on here, Ben, or should we go on to Tuesdays?
I mean, my only one would have been Ratcliffe because it's like they've been such bad form in that, but this has been a great week for them, hasn't it? As we'll see in the next slide, won't we? So yeah, but
go on, Ben. I'll let you talk Tuesdays and Wednesday, obviously.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I would be going Ratcliffe again because, like, say, I mean, the turnaround. I know, obviously, it might be just very short and everything like that, but where they've needed big results and they've not got their season started, 2 wins on the trot in a week and 2 clean sheets as well. Massive for them, 2 away wins, I think, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's a massive credit to the management team for sticking with it, and the players as well for keeping with it, because it's so easy when even at this stage of the season to really lose your heads and start to go through the motions, but they pick themselves up and they've really got themselves going again. So yeah, some massive fair play to them on that. I would have probably said as well, Spennymoor's win, as Chris would probably love as well against Alfreton. Again, Alfreton are very good at home normally, and Spennymoor following up, say with a good away performance at Farsley, to get another win on the board. So I think that's the thing. They've always been sort of in and around the playoffs, and they're really sort of sneaking back up there. I think they've just sneaked back into the playoffs now. So yeah, they're in a good place as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, those are probably the 2 main ones I would probably say of Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Just a quick one for you, Uncle Nick. I mean, Warrington beat Hereford 2-0. Do you still want him as your manager? Is it just a blip?
Oh, he's on mute.
Uncle Nick, you're on mute. You beat were too explicit.
Sorry. No, I wasn't swearing. Yeah, it's So as long as you don't draw, you'll be okay. You know, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, and you're up there. So that's the strategy, I think.
Niall in the chat has obviously mentioned the Curzon Ashton game. So it was Scarborough 0, Curzon Ashton 2. I'm really happy that we've got some National League North fans in as well. Obviously, we've got Chris, but it's nice to have new faces. So he has put big win for Curzon on Tuesday. That's the third Tuesday night away game against Scarborough in a row, and they've won them all. Little Curzon, only 2 points from top now. Love to see. I love that. Luke as well, I will go to his match report. He has put South Shields 0, Radcliffe 1. Quite a flat and awful performance from both sides. Both of them didn't really look threatening up front and couldn't really beat the first line of defence at all. But some questionable and awful refereeing gave Radcliffe a penalty and all 3 points to them. Any of the standouts for anyone, or does anyone want to talk about any of the games?
Just a very quick one. Chorley beating Darlington, and I thought that was quite funny because my car was getting serviced in Darlington on, what was it, yesterday, and I spent 6 hours in Darlington, and I was in a pub, and there was people who I was like kind of listening to the conversation because I was sat there on my own, and they were being very cruel about Sunderland and going on about all Luton or beat Sunderland easy. And I didn't realise they got beat off Chorley. So, be careful what you're talking about. Anyway, I was actually quite happy to see that result.
I love it. And Trant 2.0. Mic drop.
Darlington.
Any other games or?
No. No, I'm not mentioning Needham. They got beat off Brackley. No, it's not going well.
As we can see with the table.
The bottom as well. Jesus Christ.
So, the top of National League North, we have Scunthorpe on 25 points. Chorley a second on 23 points. Curzon Ashton a third on 23 points. Kings Lynn Town are fourth on 23 points. Hereford are fifth on 21 points. Sixth, we have Alfreton Town on 20 points. Spennymoor Town, Chris will be very happy, are seventh on 19 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Rushall Olympic on 10 points. They are in 21st. Oxford City are 22nd with 10 points. Marine are 23rd on 10 points. And Needham Market are bottom, also on 10 points.
Just on goals difference, though. That's all right. It's fine.
I know.
I'm blowing you out there.
I know.
Exactly. Come on,
Look
Needham.
at Radcliffe
Come on,
now,
turn
though. They're out of it.
Turn it around.
On 10 points.
I haven't picked well in the National League North and South. I've had the Holland Church, the other one, they're fourth bottom. And I've gone for Needham Market in their bottom. What's going on?
Right, we will go to National League now. I'm going to really quickly talk about our game. It won't take me that long because we weren't very good on Saturday. We did play Southend. We got beat 1-0. And it kind of, I've come on here and said, against the quite solid and quite boisterous teams, we don't do very well. And to be fair, Southend weren't that great and they didn't perform that great, but we were just second best to everything, to be fair. They didn't allow us to play football. We just weren't very good. It was quite a flat game, and even from a Southend point of view, they were very flat, but obviously they got the goal. Our defence were just a bit of a calamity. Was a goal scramble. Not really much to say about that game, to be fair. One thing that I am a bit like, quite worried about is I don't think we do have a plan B against this kind of teams. And I think sometimes with Jim, it can be quite stubborn. And I think against these kind of teams as well, a stat did come out, and I think we're fourth. I think it was balls and ball playing and creating on the floor. I think we're fourth, but balls obviously like high in the air and crosses and things like that. We're actually bottom of that. And we don't play football in the air. And I think against teams like your Southend, and when I came on and spoke about the Solihull Moors game, I think we do need to be a bit more like that. And Jim needs to not be as stubborn, because I feel like we have a target man in Cairo Mitchell there. is quite a tall player as well. And I think sometimes last season when we did play that kind of thing, and when we had Louis Molden in net, and he was getting the assists and stuff, maybe do it quite similar to this, because Dave Robson, who we do have in net now, he's very much, he can play football. Like, he's very confident like that as well with his feet, our goalkeeper, and he's got a quite good kick on him. So I feel like in them scenarios against these teams, we do need a plan B, to be fair. That's the only thing I've got to say about that game. We weren't very good. Southend were a bit better than us on the day and deserve the 3 points, but it wasn't the best game of football. It wasn't a classic anyway. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. We will get to the fixtures. So any standout results on here for you? Oh, I won't say Uncle Nick, he's gone. Ben.
It's a tough one, really. I think... I mean, Solihull obviously beating Barnet. I guess that's got to be the standout game, the 4-3. Barnet been flying away with it, and I'm getting worried now because Solihull have started to pick up form again. I'm like, we got to go there next week, so not ideal. Yeah, again, that's probably as well. Tamworth, good win victory for them against Woking as well. That's they've been having a tough start since promotion to the National League, and they managed to pick up the odd result here and there. But like I say, Woking, like no mugs at all in that league now, and specifically with the way they've started, they're a very physical side, hard to beat, and they would have been buzzing Tamworth to be getting 3 points at home against a side like that, because they beat the sides higher up in that. The amount of confidence that will give their players, certainly their aim is to consolidate in that league, and picking up results like that, they'll have every chance of doing that. So that's probably the two ones I would look at.
Yeah, I think Altrincham are doing quite well, aren't they? I think they I know that they didn't win it the weekend, but I don't know. I just feel like they've got a bit of a solid squad, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them have a stronger second half. But York are just smashing it, aren't they?
York have been fantastic, haven't they? Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, he's brought in, Adam Hinch was taking a couple of probably the best players from the National South, and to be fair to them, they've done it in the National League now. I mean, Ollie Pearce is just scoring goals. I think he got another 2 at the weekend for York. I know he'll be against a very poor Ebbsfleet side, and watched the goals and just calamitous defending at the moment. I really do fear for Ebbsfleet. I think they are going to go down quite with much of a whimper, because they are in a bad place at the moment. I don't think the manager's got is going to get it at all. I think to be, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes, in the next sort of couple of months, because like the way they're going at it, just can't seem to get anything going. So but then again, it was always going to be a tough ask for them away from home against York. But that's almost rubbing salt in the wounds now for us after what's been a pretty bad month or so for them in terms of goal scoring and getting beat, quite heavily.
Yeah, Super Kev hasn't had a great start at Fylde either, has he? Getting hammered 4-0 there.
I don't wish anyone any luck at Fylde.
Oh, I wish Super Kev would look anywhere he goes, but it's not a great start.
We don't like Fylde.
But we like Super Kev.
I like football, but not Fylde.
Dietrich's put as well, good win for Halifax.
Yeah.
Very good win for Halifax. Shame they didn't do it on Tuesday. Oh no, wait, they played us. I'm joking. Barnet losing away to Solihull. Chris has put. I will read Luke's match report as well. So he has put Altrincham away. Quite an even game from both sides. Both played some good stuff throughout both halves of football. However, the performance was very good from our previous 3 games before that fixture. Bless him. We've had a lot of managerial changes, haven't they?
Aye.
Yeah.
Going on to Tuesday's fixtures now. Any standouts for you on there, Uncle Nick?
I was just looking at a team that's just outside the playoffs, like I don't know if that's probably a poor result for them, to be fair, but I think they're. Sorry, my signal keeps dropping out. So
Oh, don't worry, honestly.
yeah. Unfortunately, the team at the top of the league keep winning. That's not a good sign, because we don't want them back in the Football League, so they can stay where they are. So not obviously the worst ground ever, probably the worst ground in the National League as well. What, Forest Green? If you've ever been there?
Oh, aren't you up top of the league?
Huh?
No, Forest Green now.
Forest Green.
I know.
Yeah, I think you're up a second.
Yeah, that's true. That actually, Forest Green, I've got a terrible ground. I went last season.
Worst place in the world to go. So, no, I don't know really. I'm not that well up on it, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Rebecca, is there any standouts for you?
I mean, great win for Rochdale. You do have to say
Yes,
that
thank
one.
you, girl. Come on, the girl. You've always been my favourite, you.
No, it is a good result for you. And then, I mean, Forest Green doing what Forest Green do. I mean, top at league, winning. It is what it is. I don't really fancy a trip back there though next season after you read about what they do with their pitch, which I think I've mentioned on here before, where there's like toilets in like the fan zone, and that's what they use to fertilise the pitch.
Yeah, I read that, but do you know what? It's quite environmentally friendly. They don't just put "we" on the pitch. Like, it is clean.
I bet there's not many players like roll around injured at Forest Green's ground.
That is true.
When they do a tackle and walk,
I'll be all right.
They should do it in the Premier League then.
Won't
Get
Harris
as
after.
many.
That's where you get the expression "we pissed all over them."
I'm quickly going to read Luke's out as well. So obviously it's Sutton 0, Gateshead 1. He has put Sutton away. Hell of a trek for our fans to make on a Tuesday night. Wasn't a pretty game of football from both sides, but a penalty given to us and defensive masterclass ended up getting us back to winning ways. And Carl Magny wins his first game as Gateshead manager. And he has also put, we have got Solihull Moors at home on Saturday. Should be a tough game, as always, whenever we play Solihull. Let's hope we win. Aw, I like Gateshead, to be fair.
If you could just injure all their best players as well, Luke, on Saturday, that would really help. They've got no chance at the moment beating them. I would probably go. Oh, sorry, go for it, Shel.
Oh no, I was just going to ask.
Oh yeah, well, I was going to say, I mean, the big one probably for me, right at the bottom. I like looking at the ones down at the bottom, I think, but Wildstone, I think that can't be underestimated, that win for them against Braintree, because had they lost that, you'd be talking 7 points from safety after 15 games, and they've closed the gap now to 4 points. And again, they had to come back from behind in that one as well. And Braintree have been picking up a couple of good results recently, actually. So like proving themselves that I said I think they might have a chance of staying up. And Wildstone, they'll be delighted. They'll be more relief than anything, the fact that they've kept themselves in the pack, because there's nothing worse than to lose that game and fall very much behind, because they would have been 10 points behind, because Braintree would have gone out of the relegation zone. So yeah, that's a big win for them on a Tuesday night for them. So yeah, well done to Wildstone.
100%. As mentioned as well, Chris has said there's a lot of draws, isn't there?
Yeah.
In the National League. But yeah, just our game. Again, we didn't really play the best. I think Halifax were really unlucky, to be fair, and I think we were deserving of more. But it was one of them. This time last season, we'd be playing really well, playing really good football, and then we'd end up with a sucker punch. And I feel like we did that to obviously Halifax, which we've done that a couple of times this season, snatch and grabs as well. So it does seem like we are going in the right direction, because if it was previous seasons, obviously it would have been us in that position. Kyron Gordon as well, bless him. He's only 21 and he stepped up as captain when Ebanks Landell's obviously been injured. And what a job he's been doing as well. He scored his first goal for us and it was really funny. And on social media, all of our players have been taking the mick out of him because they say he never scores. Even in training, he never scores. And when he got his goal, someone Dietrich knows very well, Ryan Easton, someone I do talk about. It was a great ball. Obviously, he headed it in, Kyron Gordon, and you can tell he never scores because he did 5 celebrations in one. He was doing the aeroplane. He ran. He did the baby where you suck your thumb, and he did all these celebrations. And I think it was Cairo Mitchell who took the mick and was like, "You can tell you don't score often." And then someone who Luke knows very well, Conor McBride, coming up with the winner again. And someone who I do want to give massive credit to, and I don't know if any of you've seen the goal, but Alarakia, who we actually got from, Taryn Alarakia, who we got from Wheelstone this season, he was there. He did absolutely brilliant, didn't give up on his run, and he's very, very effective as that wing back. I feel with him, though, if we did have a fully fit squad, he would be absolutely brilliant more further up because honestly, he's just so creative, that guy. Obviously, didn't give up, put the ball in. Conor McBride with the header. Obviously, we got the 3 points. Don't think we did necessarily deserve them, but you take that, especially someone who is obviously near us in the league, who does want to be contending for playoffs as well. Very good side, Halifax. So credit to them. But yeah, we're doing all right. There's a few injuries. Toby Adebayo rolling, our other wing back as well. I think he's out for a couple more weeks. So it's not very good on the injury front at the minute. Aaron Henry is also struggling, who's been playing in midfield. But yeah, we've got a very tough game at weekend. We do play Barnet. And obviously they will have a point to prove as well, won't they? Obviously losing the previous 2 games. But it's one of them. I'm not expecting anything because I feel like Barnet will have a point to prove. We've got a lot of injuries. I'd love to go there with a fully fit squad, but it's not the case. But you never know. You never know.
Come on, Dale. Come on,
I know.
Dale.
Come on, please.
Up the Dale.
Up the Dale.
Can we kidnap Conor McBride when we visit your stadium? No, I will protect him at all costs. Honestly, my 2 favourite players are Easter, who I always go on about. And one thing I didn't mention at the Southend game was, with Ryan East, when he has an off game, none of the others gel together, and that's when we don't perform. And that was it. He doesn't have many bad games, Ryan East, but once he's not having a good game, none of the others do, because he's like the glue to that squad and he's the core of it. So, yeah, what a guy. Love him. But no, you can't, Luke. You can't. I'll be stood in front of him like that. But yeah, on to the National League table. Forest Green Rovers are obviously top on 33 points. So sorry, my voice is just holding up. York City is second on 32 points. Barnet are third on 30 points. Gateshead are fourth on 30 points. Rochdale are fifth on 27 points. Oldham Athletic are sixth on 27 points. Solihull Moors are seventh on 24 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Braintree Town, who are 21st on 13 points. Wheelston are 22nd on 11 points. Boston United are 23rd on 9 points. And Ebbsfleet United are bottom on 6 points. It's so embarrassing, though, that they came back against us. Still like go over that.
Only the best team.
I'm so glad that Ryan East is doing well. Honestly, absolutely brilliant. Right, that is the end of the show. It's been a long one, but to be fair, we've not done that bad for time. To be fair, I'll give us that.
A double shift week, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably helps with the fact I'm losing my voice again, so I can't talk too much. But yeah, thank you to each and every person that has joined us. Uncle Nick, you are back, but where can everybody find you if they want more Uncle Nick in their lives?
Well, it won't be at the county ground for a while.
Yeah.
It's road_Ocus on Twitter. You might see the odd post, but feel free to send me something, and if it looks interesting, I'll reply to you. How about that?
I love it. Ben, where can everybody find you?
They can find me, Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. So if you would fancy keeping up with how crap we are, then no, I'm joking.
Aw.
If you fancy seeing how we're getting on, then that's where to find us.
Claire, where can everybody find you?
You can find me asleep, I think. No, on Twitter, Claire_Jeffs, and Tuesday nights that are non-game nights, we have Hatters_Hangout. We talk about our games and whoever we're playing. And to be fair, you know me, just chat a bit of shit as well.
Love it. There's nothing wrong with that because I do it too. Rebecca, where can everybody find you? And do the point. Yay!
_Rebecca_shot_, and that is on Twitter and TikTok. You can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2. I have got a little promotion with the ice hockey role. It's more of just a name change, so I am now the head of Her Game 2 ice hockey with some very, very exciting news coming very soon.
So proud.
And then if you want to join the chaos of the Mexican Grand Prix this weekend, you can join me and Jen in Girls in the Grandstand.
Love that. Definitely check it out. And yeah,
I don't know how you find the time.
No. Oh, Dietrich said the same as well. We are all so proud of you. And where can everybody find you? Back from top of the league.
Top of the league.
Top of the pile. I'm at Anthony_Waterson. I've changed my Twitter handle, so it's Anthony_Waterson. Every Monday night at 8:30 we do a live Twitter space on Hawaii Pod for some and women. So if you don't want to listen to the boring Premier League, hello, the Premier League football podcast is fantastic. If you don't want to listen to that, you can always come and give us a little listen. That is recorded as well, so it's available all the time. We have a monthly podcast as well. The second one's dropping next week. Apart from that, yeah, just either being top of the league or stalking Ben's Twitter space.
If anybody wants to find me, I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. My Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT on all of those socials. And of course, the main ones. And look at all of our faces. We're all on it. So we have the Absolute Football Podcast. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Facebook, we have an Absolute Football Podcast. On a Monday, we have an Absolutely Premier League show. On a Wednesday, we have an Absolutely Women's Football show. Obviously, on a Thursday, we are Absolutely Lower League, and we cover the EFL Championship, League 1, League 2, National League North and South, and then obviously all of it is on at 8:30. Please come and join in the chat as well. And as I've said before, there is a lot of new people in tonight, so we appreciate your support. And yeah, if you haven't been here before, if you have been to a game or if there's any news with your team, we're always willing to read it out if we can. Obviously, we have been limited for time this week because it is a double game week. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone's support and have a lovely weekend. Bye, everybody.